Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're playing the game Meet Your Maker, and we're going to be doing a workshop video, but again we're doing a field trip over to the Funhouse. Now the Funhouse was this is what the one I got highlighted here, the mastered one. This one here, I built this in a 40-minute build video. Geez, I think I did it in beta. And then from there, I kind of tweaked it a little bit after making the video and getting into the newer traps because I didn't have all the traps when I built this. And it ended up in its time, I think it was 12 kill ratio. And because it's been in social, people have been dipping into it, bringing the kill ratio down a little bit. But overall, it was a very successful base. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it watching the reruns of it immensely. But I'm going to go into it so that I can tell you what I was thinking when I built this base. And there's a couple areas in the base I want to just point out to you that you can rebuild on your own and as portions, as smaller portions of your main concept of your bases that you're creating. You could just grab a little segment of this base, and I'll point that out as we go. One of the big tricks that I did with this guy here, this is an enforcer with dead man switch right here at the beginning of my map. And more or less all my maps, the Tarkus Zone maps, I put this fascia or this ambient building here. It's always the same for my maps. And so this guy can be used up here. You cannot use him up there. But he more or less is up there to be killed. So once he dies, he flops down here and he'll take, especially in a duo pair, he'll flop down here and kill a duo. So one player runs up there, kills him or shoots him, and then usually it's a duo pair. The other thing is I do with my bases, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, is I always put this trap here, right here in the beginning. You won't believe how many people I get with this, especially those people that are rerunning it, getting killed, rerunning it. They keep on forgetting about this trap, and it will just eventually get them. And they lose their patience, and they try to run it, and they get them. So those are those two tricks there you can use anyway. If you like. I mean, there's no big trick there. Dead man switch on that enforcer at the beginning, and then having this here. All right, so you get in your first room. This is the design. Just try to keep in mind this design that I've got here. I've got these guys, these enforcers at the top, on the top of those two blocks. It's like a stairway. If you were to view this as a stair, this is the first. This is the ground. This is the first stair, and this is the second stair. And what I did is I put those enforcers there to shoot line of sight here. And then if you come in, you got this enforcer down here. Now, one of the neat tricks that I learned early on with this game is put a corrosive cube pit trap in front of any mob if you can, because you get a double dip on the hard rating and the chances of killing people. So, and when I built this base, I explained that in that 40-minute vid why I did what I did here. And now I'm just showing you the results of it because I got a lot of kills. So as you can see, I had a kill in that box. So they'll zip over here. Now you want to put this guy on dead man switch. So what they'll do is if they're using a sword, they'll zip over here, kill this guy, and then they're dealing with this chain trap up here if they haven't taken it out to stay in here, or they'll feel safe in here, and this guy blows up and kills them. Now I put the chain trap here only because, think about it. If you go down here, and if you haven't, I'm going to put it this way. I'll be here. So let's say you walk into here. So your choices are kill the enforcers or kill this chain jobby, right? You're going to want to take this out first. So if you're not shooting it, you're going to have to, sword your way over here, destroy it, not realizing that I got one right here on the ceiling, and it will pull you back there, and it leaves you as a bullseye. If you got sucked into this chain, you're now a bullseye for all those enforcers. So that was a setup. This is a patsy trap. I don't expect this trap to catch anybody. I expect that trap to basically make the raider have to deal with it, causing this trap to fire and pull them back. And that has gotten so many raiders. They get caught right here on the wall, and those enforcers take them out. Now these sentinels, ignore these really. I mean, you can put these in your base. I only added those because I had capacity, but when I added those, it was kind of like overkill. So when I originally built this, these sentinel traps you see in the ceiling weren't here. Those weren't in here. I eventually put them there when I had some extra capacity. But the room itself basically is what you see here. And then you'll always put a patsy trap on the floor just to slow them down if they want to destroy it, or if they try to grapple and they drop down, they're going to fall into it. Now this piston here is important so they don't speed run through it. So you want a piston. I think what I had on this is just the burning piston. And what it is if they try to speed run it and they even touch this thing, they're going to get killed. So when they come around this corner, they'll slow down because of that. Now I got another sentinel in the ceiling here, which again is overkill. You don't really need it up here for this design. I put it there because I had some extra capacity. I did have one time put a sentinel where this block is, and I didn't like it there. I didn't want the see-through to happen, so that block stayed here. So if you're looking at just like a portion of this, if you took this room and added it to your design somehow, especially if you can add it at your entrance, then this is a very powerful design, especially if you add the sentinels, those traps up there. I mean, it just becomes crazy mode. People just die in this room. It just crazy deaths. Let me see here. What's it? Is it H? Or is it T? Let me see here. Oh, it's T. Okay, let's hit T again. All right, so you can see the historical deaths that happened in that room and outside the door here. So basically all the deaths that you see here, all these gravestones of people I caught in this room, just this room alone. That gives you a pretty good understanding on how I did that. Okay, so then I come into this room. Now this room I don't really need to go into full detail on. It's just an open room concept. You can do whatever you want with an open room concept. Place just make sure your mobs overlap. They're firing in arc range, where they can fire. I got some hornets flying around here. I put some sentinels in the ceiling. I did put these in here originally. I wanted them in this room. I think I added this one here as an extra. But there was 3. I think it was this 1, 2, 3 sentinel was in this room originally, plus the hornets flying off these platforms. And then I allowed it so people could grapple through the room, or they could go through the maze, this little maze that I created to get back here. But how you can do whatever you want with a room like this open concept room. It's just that you got to just remember, you don't want your traps destroying other traps. Like this one here is a bouncing Betty, your mine injector there, or your whatever they call it there. So it was at the top here, so that if a duo pair came in here and one of the duos walked out here, these would drop down and separate the duo pair, because some will fall down into that hole and then some would fall down here. And if I hit T again, you'll see I got a few people with that trick, but I think a good majority of these kills down here in this hallway came from that bomb injector going there. All right. So I didn't want to have to, I don't really need to detail this room out for you. You guys get an open room concept. So then I had them come into here. I got a piston here just to slow them down. And then I've got this bolt trap to try to catch them as they come in and they destroy this, not realizing this is going to hit them. So it's basically I would say a patsy trap in a sense, where I want the guy to be here to get him with another trap, but it's also there to slow them down, to be there, so they have to stop here and just slow down a little bit. Now I put another piston here. Now, I think I probably should have removed this block above here. This block here, now that I think about it, should not have been here. This block should have been removed. This way, if I'm stopped here, the hornets can still see me. So that block made a huge difference in that. That was an error on my part. So even I'm learning, even after the base is in master, that block should not have been there, because this way, if someone sped run it, the hornets would be able to see them as they stopped here. All right, so let's go down here. Okay, so this is the same kind of setup where you've got the pit trap and you got your enforcer, pit trap, and enforcer. Now, a speedrunner's just gonna run through this, right? I mean, they're just going to run through it unless you put a piston here. So what I ended up doing was putting 2 pistons in the ceiling there, one here and one there. And what that does is I stop long enough to destroy this piston, then I have to stop long enough to destroy this piston, and it puts me in a crossfire here. And if I hit the T command again to bring up the historical graves. Okay, so I don't think I got a lot of people right here. So this is, yeah, so I mean, I didn't really, it looks like I didn't get many people here. Am I getting the historicals? Okay, so let me just make sure I'm getting the historicals. Yeah, it looks like I am. So, yeah, those are the historicals. So I didn't get a lot of people there. I mean, I guess what people, I mean, I should have looked at this earlier, but it looks like people just ran through. I did get a couple. I mean, you see some gravestones here, but this is not, this combo it doesn't look to be that powerful. I mean, I've got a couple deaths here. So obviously, these deaths came from something, either from this bolt trap or that piston. I added this piston too as an extra piston when I had capacity. So you don't really, I mean, this combo works because the piston comes down and the bolt trap's there, and I do have some gravestones here. Okay, making our way down. So that's a good thing about looking at the historical grave markers is, yeah, I got a couple kills here. Not that great successful, but not every gimmick, not every thing's going to get people. So you just got to work on what on your setup and look at the gravestones. So just coming down this hallway, I like coming down hallways. I've got myself a sentinel here. This one wasn't here to begin with. I added it as I got capacity. But this room is similar to the room that we entered the building in. So I've got sentinels up here. Both of not sentinels, sorry. I have enforcers up here. I got one enforcer here and a cannoneer in the back there. That enforcer's got dead man switch. You can see I've got a few. I've had a few kills here. I could have sworn I had more than that. I'm not hitting the right button here to get the historicals up. So, all right. I thought I had a lot more kills here. All right. I don't know why. I know I had a crap load of kills in here, and I'm not really sure why I'm hitting the T button to give me the historicals. I know I had more than one death here, so I don't know what's going on at this point. Yeah, because I even had tweaked this a couple times back here. I had a sentinel in the ceiling, and I know I had like 30 kills just here. And I had removed the sentinel because I said, oh, that's just too much. Because what it was, a sentinel with the plasma, and it was like just raping people right here as it came up. And so I'm not really sure why I'm not getting the correct historical gravestones. Only one is coming up now. And that one there says a cannonback got him. Right? Cannonback. How did the cannonback get this guy? Oh, maybe he rolled the ball down in here and it bounced off. Okay, so I got some bolt ejectors down there. They worked well. Again, I promise this room I've created here was a very powerful room. I don't know why stones are not showing. I mean, it's weird, especially down there. I mean, these are showing, but again, these are not historical. These are not all my historicals, especially when we look at, I mean, this room, yeah. I mean, this looks right. That's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not remembering, but the kills down there. But I'm pretty sure I had a lot of kills down here. But you can see how powerful this room is. This setup here on this room is quite powerful. And and I'm not trying to. The reason why I called this the Funhouse is I wasn't really trying to hide anything. So it wasn't like I was trying to blend the traps into the walls. I made it so that you could see my traps, that you could see the enforcers. I didn't want to try to do any cheese on that when it came to blending those in. And I know this room had a whole crap load of kills, and you don't see any tombstones in here either. I don't know what's going on with that. That's weird. Weird, weird, weird. I mean, I'm only seeing, yeah, I'm only seeing what they're showing me. And this room has one or two. And I know this, I mean, look how deadly this room is. I mean, it's just, you know, I got more, especially if I've got the, let's go back and look at, I think I've explained this well enough to you. Let's go back and just look at the numbers again. Exit to Outpost. All right. Let's just see what we've got for the numbers here. Hit F, go to build. We were at the Funhouse, which was this one, Comstock. So yeah, I had 2,807 kills in that outpost. So I mean, obviously those gravestones weren't reflecting that, because there's no way that's how many. I mean, yeah, that's. I think that was glitching a little bit, but I promise the concept of the base worked, and well, obviously you can see the numbers. I mean, 2,000, 8 kills is quite a bit of kills, and people seem to have fun. They had 92 fun, 89 brutal, 46 ingenious, and artistic. So that's why I called it the Funhouse, was because that's what I was going for, was for my highest number to be fun. And in this case, that became true. It's 92 was the fun. And then the rest, I mean, brutal was close to overtaking it, but that was not the case. Well, I hope this video finds you well, and thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkus Zone.